Okay, so here's some pickups that I got late April and early May. This is from a vacation that I took. While I was on vacation, I went around and made some pickups, mostly at pawn shops, but I went to some game stores as well that I'd never been to. This is more around the Colorado area. The first set was from a pawn shop that I went to, and I saw some older games. They didn't have prices on them. The guy at the pawn shop, when I took them up, he kind of went through and priced them out on price charting, and he was kind of reading off the prices to me, like, oh, for this is 50, this is 20, all that. He said he's willing to give me a pretty big discount because they're trying to get rid of them. So I was happy about that. So let me go through these real quick. The first one here, Rush 2, Extreme Racing USA. You can see that all these have some stuff on them, so I'll try to get them off. Mostly just some stickers, but I'm hoping to get those off. Of course, the one I was really going for, Vigilante 8 Second Offense. And you can see it has the full Blockbuster label on the back and all that, so that'll be interesting to try to get off. The third N64 game, South Park Chef's Low Shack. I did recently pick up the South Park game for N64 as well. I think these are the only two that are on the N64. And for SNES, I picked up Tiny Toons Buster Busts Loose. This one's in good condition. And then Indiana Jones Greatest Adventures. Haven't played these, but I think the Indiana Jones is actually maybe a little more uncommon or something. It's one of the ones that he said was worth $20. And the Golden Axe Beast Rider. It's the last one from that set. He had initially said like 5 on it, and then when he bundled everything, he was like, "Oh well, I'll just give you that one free if you buy the other ones." So, technically it's like, oh, I paid 8 or something, but more like 6 a piece for the 6 there. So pretty good altogether. I got some good titles in there, but this trip I kind of spent a little more than I normally do. I try to stay 5 or under. But you'll see later on, I definitely picked up some amazing games, some amazing PS2 RPGs, and I spent a little more on those. So the next these 4 PS2 games, those I did go to a flea market there in Denver. It's a pretty interesting flea market, but pretty picked over. I didn't have much time. I was just going there on a real quick just to check it out. But I did pick these up. The Pac-Man 3 Worlds was $2, and the other 3 here were $3. So yeah, I got Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc. Got a copy of Dark Cloud Greatest Hits. I do already have Dark Cloud, so this might be an upgrade for me. But it was cheap, so I picked it up. I think Dark Cloud's a good game. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. Spyro and Rayman are two that I didn't really have any of, or at least I think maybe I have one Spyro. Oh, and I have Rayman Arena as well. So it's interesting to start getting some of those PlayStation classics that people always talk about, but I never really played too much myself. And then also I got the Pac-Man World 3. And that was so I picked it up. I already have Pac-Man World 2 on PS2. So the next sets here on the left, all the non-PS3 games were one pickup from. This is probably the best set of pickups, at least price-wise. Really great games in here. This pawn shop, they had a huge glass case of games, and as soon as I walked up and saw the prices, you can kind of see on some of these. A lot of them were $2, and that included their PS1, their PS2, Xbox, and stuff like that. Most of the PSP games were like $2 too. The one there I bought was $3.50. So I'll get right into it. First pickup was Extreme Legends Dynasty Warriors 5. And this is complete. That kind of adds, I'm getting really close on having all the Dynasty Warriors for PS2. I'm missing probably 3 or 4 at this point, like Dynasty Tactics, and I'm missing actually Dynasty Warriors 5 itself. But I'm getting very close. Just been picking up a lot of them, and it's another $2 one, so very happy about that. Complete. The next one was Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. Happy to get that. For the Samurai Warriors, I'm actually just missing the Samurai Warriors 1 Extreme Legends. Out of those, I think 5 or so. So that was another good pickup. When I see those, I'm just really excited because I do love that style of hack and slash. So seeing those and seeing the $2 price tag, I was like, this is perfect. Next one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monster Coliseum. This looks like it's actually kind of like a move monsters around a map and destroy the enemy. So maybe more of a tactical type Yu-Gi-Oh game. I'm not really sure, but looked interesting. And $2. I'm definitely going to add that to the collection. I never really played Yu-Gi-Oh. I was always back in the day. I was always Magic the Gathering. That's also complete. And of course, the one that I definitely want to talk about here is Shadow Hearts. Now, this one. You'll see, I'm actually doing this out of order, but I went to a game store before this and bought some PS2 RPGs, and this is one that I passed up because it was too expensive. You can see there, I got the $2 price tag on this one. Now, it is missing the manual, so this is disc only, unfortunately, but still, to be able to pick up, one of those, at least to me, more rare PS2 RPGs. It probably isn't really that rare to me anyway. Picking up cheap PS2 games, this is something that I was pretty floored to see. And you can see here, I also picked up Mortal Kombat Trilogy. A nice pickup for PS1 to get another $2 pickup there. Always happy to add to the PS1 collection. I don't have too much there. Then a copy of Populous, The Beginning. Populous. That's my third copy of a Populous, because I do have it on I have the SNES version, and then I also have a DS, Populous DS as well. And for PSP, I picked up Coated Arms. This one was $3.50, but it looked interesting. Kind of a shooter here, futuristic shooter, so figured why not, and that's complete as well. So yeah, just the Shadow Hearts wasn't complete, to my sadness, but I will take it, $2. So the next set on the right here was these PS3 games. For these, I picked up, they were $3 a piece. You can see on the side there from another pawn shop. So just they had quite a really good selection. PS3, I'm kind of reaching a point where I'm still kind of just collecting games that I want to play, or games that I find interesting. And I'm probably at about 50 at this point. So I'm doing pretty good with that, and I'm definitely liking that. I'm finding them cheap. So the first one was Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. So that'll be fun. Pick up. I realize it's more of like a, DLC. This is what you'd probably more consider it, but it doesn't require it to play, so that's good. Since I don't have it, PS3. Overlord, Raising Hell. I haven't played this version of it, so I don't know what's too different about it, but I did play Overlord and Overlord 2 on the PCs, and pretty fun games. Maybe you'd consider it like the PlayStation version of Pikmin, in a sense. Picked up Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, so that was a good one to pick up. May have bankrupted a studio, but I heard it was actually a pretty good game. I haven't played it either, but excited to get it. For $3, that's what I'm looking for. And the last one I picked up just because I thought it was interesting. I realized it is part of a set of a bunch of them, but it's Capcom Essentials with Dead Rising 2 and Resident Evil 6. And I think the set comes with maybe 6 games, something like that. I'll probably put it at the bottom, how many it comes with. But I found it interesting that they're just both in there. And the funny thing is, I think I do actually have both these games already, but the fact that it came like that, I thought was interesting. I don't know if in the future, maybe something that's a little more rare to find the Essentials bundle. Like I said, the pawn shop there was amazing, and it kind of helps my theory that, the pawn shops especially in like smaller towns. Because obviously you can probably figure out without thinking too much that, big city, if you're there, you go to the pawn shops, there's not going to be a lot of games, cheap games, because people are looking for them and they go pretty fast. So the next set real quick, and where we're starting to get some really good games, really good pickups. And I did start spending a little more, just because I was on vacation or whatever the reason. I did start spending a little more on some of these. So you'll notice that some of them go above 5. So the first 3 top here technically are free, but they were all $6, $7 games. I believe the Arc Lad was 5, and then the Armored Core and the Unlimited Saga were 7. But those 3 were actually free. Video game store that I went to buy these PS2 games. They had like a, buy 5 get the 6th free. So yeah, the first one here, great pickup, the Unlimited Saga. These games, like this one in particular, and some of the other ones. I was in this video game store and I was seeing these games and these RPGs, and they had a great selection of RPGs and just about anything you could think of. They had some rare stuff like Gross Lancer and Ulterior Iris, I think, Ars Neko, stuff like that. I feel like I never see. The next one, the Armored Core 2, Another Age. Getting close on the Armored Core as well. I don't have some of the ones like I believe it's Raven Core or something like that. And I think there's a Silent something. I can't think of it right now, but getting a lot of the Armored Cores. This one actually doesn't have the manual, unfortunately. But I picked it up. It was still pretty cheap. This was kind of store that had everything wrapped up. They had everything sealed wrapped, and they did put no manual on most of the games. But this one, I might not have noticed it, or maybe they just didn't have the manual and they unfortunately didn't write it on there. But not a huge deal. Like I mentioned earlier, I did get it for free technically, so with the deal. So next one, Arc the Lad, Twilight of the Spirits. The Arc the Lad I haven't really heard of before, but I definitely wanted to pick it up because I heard good things. Looking up PS2 games, both the Arc the Lad games, I've heard good things about, and I do have the other one as well. Although the copy of the other one that I have, End of Darkness, I believe, it's pretty crappy. The cover is pretty crappy, but happy to pick that up. Next one, these 3 were each $5 a piece. The first one was Evergrace. I think this is one that maybe gets confused as like, is it like a Secret of Evermore, that type of game? It doesn't look like it, but it looks like it's just kind of like an action type of RPG game. So I picked it up. It was only 5. Kessen 2. And these are all complete here, except for that Armored Core 2 I mentioned. So I'm happy to pick that up. I have Kessen 1 and Kessen 3. Now I have Kessen 2. I don't think there's any other Kessen games, so I might be complete on a Kessen set. I'd have to double check, but I was happy to pick that up for another 5. And these are the kind of games that I'm willing to go up to 5. Fortunately, they were at least 5. The next one, Disgaea 4. A Promise Unforgotten, $5. You can see there. I actually picked up a bunch more Disgaea games. I actually only had played, I think, Disgaea 3 before I started collecting, and I remember not liking it too much. I do like tactical games, but something about it I didn't like too much. So we'll see. Now that I have quite a few, I think it'll be more fun to go back and play them and see. Maybe there's a version I like more than others. I don't know how much they vary, but that's the fun of it, is that you collect these types of games, and then you can go back and play them and see, how did the games change as they went along, what was good about them, what was bad about them. Personally, I think with the Dynasty Warriors, like 4 and around like 3 and 4 were kind of like the golden age of the Dynasty Warriors. The last one is one I had been looking for a while, Shepherd's Crossing. $8 on that. And these are all pickups from different from different game stores, I should say, that I went to. Just kind of checking them out. After these where I got the free copies and bought a bunch, I went to a few other video game stores to see if I could find any other deals like that, and picked up like one or two at each store. But this one I was pretty happy about to get Shepherd's Crossing because I do like the Harvest Moon type games, and I hadn't heard of that, or I'd heard about that one, but I had never played it, so it'll be interesting to try. And I think $8 is pretty good on it. And I'll show in a second here the games that I bought, the main games that I bought that got those 3 free ones. So the next few here on the top there, they're all 10, save for the Grandia 2 was not 10. But after the deal that I got, they all came out to be about 10. So like I said, I paid a little more for these only because I know that they're worth a little more. Some of them I'm sure I paid just about what they're worth right now, but there's some really great titles, a lot of RPG games, so I was really happy to get those. These are kind of the ones that I never really see, and if I do see them, they're usually at least 20. So I went ahead and splurged a little bit, even though I wasn't getting, my normal 5 apiece. The first one here is Dragon Ball Z Sagas. I'm doing pretty good on getting most of the Dragon Ball Z games on the PS2. I have the first 3 Budokais, and then Budokai Tenkaichi, the first one. So happy to get that. Dragon Ball Z Sagas to add to that. I mostly played the Budokai games back in the day, so I don't really know what the Saga's about too much. It looks like maybe it's of course a fighter, but maybe it has like a more of a story mode as well. So should be interesting. Next pickup, Kingdom Hearts Free Chain of Memories. So I think I do have the 3 Kingdom Hearts games on the PS2 now. 1, 2, and this one as well. And kind of continuing, these were the games that I was looking at. I was like, oh, Galaxy, holy crap! And I saw the price of it's like $12.95 or something. Was the price, and I ended up basically 10 with the deal that they had. But to see it for that was kind of amazing because I definitely seen Rogue Galaxy before, usually at least 20, and that's kind of what it was for a lot of these. It was like, wow, I can't believe that's actually pretty cheap. Okay, so the next one was Mega Man X Collection. I'm happy to pick that up, get a nice little collection, 7 games in one. Get that for 10. Mega Man, a lot of the Mega Mans, especially the older ones, are definitely one of the higher price types of games, and I think that's good to get the PS2 version for 10. Another great one, Phantom Brave. Very good pickup. Looks like a tactical game, so I think I'll really enjoy that. I guess it does kind of have a Disgaea style to it. I didn't really think about that. So it might be similar to those. Wild Arms 3. I have played Wild Arms 3, but we have to replay that one. And they had some of the other Wild Arms games, but those were more expensive. So this is the cheapest, but still $10. Pretty good for Wild Arms. Next pickup, Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter. Definitely a big fan. I played a lot of Breath of Fire 3. Definitely back in the day. Breath of Fire 4 is good too. I haven't played this one, so I'm excited to play that. Just a great RPG pickups. Just pretty amazing. I picked up Time Crisis 2. Time Crisis 2, I want to say might be my favorite arcade game. I don't play a lot of arcade games. Wasn't really. I think I was kind of a generation that's past arcades. I went to a few arcades, and I always have fun over there. But just, we don't go to the arcade because you have so many consoles. Disgaea pickups. Disgaea Hour of Darkness. First one here. So happy to pick that up. And then right along with it, Disgaea 2. Cursed Memories. Picking those up, kind of getting those in the collection. So that's very good. All of these are are just amazing titles for the collection that I've really wanted to pick up, so I'm happy to get those. Lots of Disgaea now. And yes, I did pay $20, $22 for this one. Grandia 2. Could not pass it up. So, the last one here, the only Wii game that I picked up, Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. I didn't realize there was a kind of a sequel to the Tales of Symphonia game. That was 10. So that was good to pick up. That was actually at just a separate store. I was looking and I saw it. I thought 10 was a good price for it, so I picked it up. And all these are complete. Yeah, all these are complete, so I made sure of that. But yeah, so got some really great games there. These are definitely some more of the gems of the collection.